Hello, I'm Brian C. Mears. This is Expressions of Light Language. Today I'd like to talk to you about the root chakra. Actually, we're going to start an entire series on the chakras, starting with the root. Most of us have seen them in some form or another. Right? The chakras literally translates as spinning wheel or disc. There's 7 main ones that are located on the body. There's a whole bunch of small ones that are around us. And then we have one that's 18 inches above our head and one that's 18 inches below our feet. The ones that are on the body are rainbow colored. We start at the root. That's down by the genitals, the base of the spine. That one's red. The sacral happens to be orange. Solar plexus is yellow. Green goes to the heart. The throat ends up being blue. We have indigo, purple, violet, happens to be third eye. And then the crown chakra is indigo into clear as we're going up. And it's part of this connection that keeps us grounded here on our planet and also connected to the heavens. The root chakra itself is the I am presence. It's what tells us that we're safe. It's actually the foundation for all the important stuff in the body if you're looking at the actual anatomy. Legs are just stilts that we walk across the planet with. The foundation is the hips, it's the pelvis, it's the base of the spine that actually holds us in this place. When we don't feel safe, all of us, just biologically, have tension there along our pelvic floor. Pucker response is what our society would say. Right? It's a space of I'm not safe, so I have to protect myself. I have to be more firm on my footing. Unfortunately, as a society, we're addicted to stress. We've turned it into an art form. Go anywhere, and you'll always see somebody doing this on their phone. Right? Sitting in a waiting room. Doesn't matter what's going on. Doesn't matter anything else. They're always in this sort of a place. Not always. That's a big paintbrush. But it's enough. Right? If we don't have stress in front of us, we find some way to stress ourselves out. We're so addicted to it. Our mind doesn't know how to be able to be in the non-stressed state. Stress is sympathetic nervous system. That's fight or flight. Most of us have heard about that. The parasympathetic state is rest and digest. That's the mode we're supposed to be in most of the time. And it's also the mode that our society says something's wrong with you if you're not stressed. All of this starts down at the root. This starts with the foundation. The I am presence that says, I am safe. I am here. I am a soul having 3-dimensional experience and a sack of meat. I am safe. And so we're working on being able to heal those stories that tell us that we're not safe. This could be something that happened from childhood. This could be a car accident that happened. Could be some sort of an assault. We don't have to define exactly what that was. But giving ourselves the message that we are safe helps the sympathetic nervous system to downregulate so that it's no longer looking for the bear to attack. Instead, it says, oh, there's some maintenance that needs to be done in the body. What do I need to do to give myself the most optimal opportunity for health and an enjoyable life? It starts at the foundation of what we stand upon. And that I am presence is the fundamental key there. Because whatever you put after that short little sentence of I am is what we become. If you say I am angry and you sit with that for a moment, you can actually feel prickles come out. You can feel the somatic experience of your body starting to feel the emotion of anger and express it. Not feeling it, you actually become anger. Right? If you say I am happy, well, now the prickles are gone. Right? There's a little bit of elation that shows up in the middle of the chest. And it shifts fundamentally how this rest of the structure moves, depending upon what we define after the I am. So of course it's at the foundation. It's the root, it's the base of what it is to be a physical being that's got an esoteric soul that's trying to operate the entire system. The physicality can be in danger. The soul is not. And so what we're doing today with the light language channeling is to be able to clear out all of those stories that everybody has stuck down there in the root chakra about why we're not safe, why we're in danger, why we're walking on thin ice, why we need to tiptoe around certain subjects, to be able to actually just be who we are. I am who I am, and that is enough. So in preparing for a light language channeling today, I'd like us all to breathe for a moment. Please place right hand on your heart, right in the center of the chest. Place your left thumb in your umbilicus and allow the hand to rest on the lower abdomen. Don't need to press into the umbilicus, we're just letting the hand rest on the lower abdomen. Okay, this is the heart center, right? And this is also the sacral chakra that we are addressing on the lower piece. Now the sacral chakra is important because it's actually the keystone. It's the cornerstone cornerstone, not keystone. The cornerstone about what the rest of the spine builds upon. We have the root chakra, that's the foundation. We have the cornerstone that holds everything else up above it. And so we're addressing that very important piece while we're also holding on to that sacred thing that all of us have inside of our heart, or inside of our chest. Right? That's the heart, that's the illumination, that's what makes us different than an unanimated person. So we're being gentle with ourselves, and we're just going to breathe. It's going to be a little unnatural, but there's a good reason for it. We're going to disrupt the normal breathing cycle just enough to be able to help the mind say, this breathing pattern is different. I'm not in the sympathetic fight or flight mode. I'm not running from a bear, breathing at my absolute hardest I can. I'm breathing differently, which says that I must be safe enough to have this breath, which means I can get into the parasympathetic mode, which means I can do the repair, I can allow myself to rest, I can start the digestive process of both the foods that I've eaten and whatever emotions I've imbibed. Right? Whatever the stories are that I would consider to be stressful that have gone into my system that I still have to digest in some way, shape, or form, we need to breathe to be able to get through that as well. Humans can actually clear 80% of the toxins in our blood can come out through the breath. So breathing is of incredible importance. And what we're going to do for breathing is called the puff method. We're going to put a puff at the two ends of the breath, and it causes a strange little pause that happens afterwards. We're not counting, we're not getting in our head about this, we're just listening to the natural rhythms of the body. So we breathe in with a puff, and then we hold. And when the body says it's time to let go, breathe out with a puff. And there's another hold. It's natural. It's not forced, we're not counting it out. Right? When it's time to breathe in, then we breathe in with a puff, a little bit more oxygen. Holding. There's a weird little liminal space that we've just created in our breath. Breathing out with a puff and a hold. Another liminal space. There's magic in these voids that we create just because we're shifting the way the body is actually responding to itself. I'm putting oxygen in with a little bit more oxygen. I'm pushing out carbon dioxide with a little bit less out, a little bit more out with a puff on the bottom end. And the body has to readjust itself in those voids. Okay? So as part of this, we're going to continue that breathing throughout the entire light language and channel. If you get lost, no big deal. Start wherever you're at, breathe in again, do a puff, and just relax into the void. When it's time to breathe out with a puff, and relax into that void. And just continue to breathe, and we'll start the light language channel. So we're breathing in, puff, breathing out, puff, breathing in, puff, breathing out, puff. Breathing in, puff, and light language. Kumuroko sete shina karamokotai sete shinete. Shana shinato mohotai tenataromokaite. Mokaite shina shina shinina taramokota mokota seretai shirete. As you're breathing in, pull up on that perineum. Do just a Kegel, as if you're going to stop urination. Breathing in, pulling all the way up, puff. And as you breathe out, relax those muscles. Just a little activation there on the floor of the pelvis. Just acknowledging where we're working. We're in the root chakra. We're starting to flow energy through there a little differently. Kamarakato sunishinata romoko tai shininaka di mohota. Mohota serite shinata romokai tereta. Tirata romorokai sinishinita muaete gada mokaisa. Mokai sere shina haida mohota marakate sinatama. Karakter moko sara sinina shinita romokota teromoko serete shinata. Good. Support Shirita Ramoroko Mohota Tirata Ramohota Teta. Gonna open up Gamota Kai, De Shinita Teramokai, and release Kai Ramoroko traumas, the stories about why we're not safe, the things that no longer serve a purpose, our old lessons, we don't need those anymore. Thank you for being here. We appreciate the place that you took and hold in our life, but we're moving forward. I want to lighten my beingness. I want to be more than I have been before. Giving myself permission to be safe in a totally different reality. Thank just some gentle washing. Keep breathing. Puff. Amaroko sarata shinina shramoho taratara mokai shiratara marokatai shinitera mokai jinataka mohai terera tamokata. Karatara moko sarata shinitara ramoko tai shinite yaramoho tishinatara mokai taramokai taramoko tai tirita. Titita ramorgota sarata mohota, sinata mokai tarataramokoto sarati shinata moita dete. Moitereta taramokai sarataramoka tara sanatara mokai tarana homokota sara. Breathing in, puff, holding, breathing out, puff, holding, breathing in, puff, holding. Kamoroko sarata sanata romokoto sarete shinata romoroko tai sarata moroko tamarata ramoroko tai sarete shinata moita rata ramorta rata terota romoko sarata rashinata romokai terete moikaite na ramoroko tu siriti shirata siriti shirata ramorokai tarata ramoroko tana ramoroka tai sanata shinina ramoroko to mokoto sarata rere satare tere mohoto katara morokai sanata Saratara karamoroko tai sarata karamoko tai sarete sharataramoko sarataramoroko tai. This is expanding your foundation. Kamarakata mokota saratara, bringing in more energy, more resources. Kaimarakata mohoto mosata kata shinete kata. So that as we stand on this beautiful planet of ours, kamarataramokota shinete kata, our energy fills further. We expand past the limits of our physical body, feeling into our auric fields, and meet the land where she chooses to greet us. Each and every single step, giving us the firm foundation that we've always wanted. The one that holds us up, and we have no doubts that she will support us. As we can take these steps forward, moving together, brother and sister, in a beautiful world that we choose to create. Not one that's manipulated by fear and scarcity in a dystopian society. One that is operating from joy and above, where we have compassion and patience, understanding, grace, forgiveness, and authenticity of who we are and other people's expressions of who they are. Kamarakoto sete shinita kamoroko tai shiritai. Feel your foundation expand. Just like the roots of a tree, we are ingrained with the planet that we live upon. There's not a single molecule in your body that did not come from our planet. You're part of it. Be rooted in it. Be grounded in it. Allow yourself to shine brilliantly. We're all here to get through this darkness together. One last breath. Puff. Holding. Puff. Thank you, my friends. Be brilliant and illuminate your day however you choose to go. Until next time.